Chosen one, you did not arrive at this moment by accident. There is a reason something in you told you to pause, to stop scrolling, to listen more closely. This was not meant to be consumed casually or halfway. God does not speak important things while you are distracted. He interrupts. He arrests your attention. And right now, He is asking for your full presence, because what He wants to reveal cannot be understood in fragments. This is not background noise. This is a divine interruption. If your environment is loud, quiet it. If your mind is racing, slow it down. If you feel restless, take a deep breath and let it settle. There is a reason your spirit feels heavier than usual, and your thoughts feel louder than normal. There is a reason you have felt crowded on the inside, even when you were physically alone. This is not random stress. This is spiritual movement. Something is shifting, and your spirit knows it before your mind can explain it. God specifically asked you to receive this alone, because what He is doing in you right now cannot survive outside interference. Other voices would distort it. Other opinions would weaken it. Other energies would confuse it. This message is not for debate, discussion, or group interpretation. It is personal. It is precise. It is meant to land directly in your spirit, without being filtered through anyone else's understanding. What others would hear as words, you are meant to hear as confirmation. You have been feeling strangely disconnected lately. Not just alone, but separate. As if you can be in the middle of people and still feel untouched by the moment. Conversations happen, but they don't reach you. Laughter sounds distant. Connections feel thin. You show up physically, but something in you remains withdrawn, watching, guarded. And you have questioned yourself because of it. You wondered if you were becoming antisocial, emotionally unavailable, or even broken in some way. But what if none of that is true? What if this is not isolation, but insulation? What if God has been deliberately pulling you away, not to harm you, but to protect you? What if He has been creating space around you, because what He is forming inside you is too fragile to be exposed right now? You are not being excluded. You are being preserved. You are not losing people. You are being separated from distractions that would interfere with the next stage of your calling. You are in a season of formation, and formation requires privacy. Some transformations cannot happen in public. They cannot happen while you are explaining yourself, defending your growth, or answering questions from people who are not meant to understand the process anyway. There are shifts that only happen in silence, in stillness, in the unseen places where only you and God are present. That is where you are right now. And God removed the audience on purpose. Not because He wanted you lonely, but because He wanted you safe. Because there has been subtle resistance around you. Quiet pressure, not loud attacks, not obvious opposition, but small, strategic tests. Conversations that poke at old wounds. Questions that sound innocent but feel heavy. Comments that linger in your spirit longer than they should. Nothing you could clearly call out. Nothing you could easily confront. But your discernment noticed. Your spirit reacted before your mind could justify it. You felt it, didn't you? That uneasiness you couldn't explain. That sense that something wasn't right even though everything looked fine on the surface. That is discernment. And discernment always increases right before transition. Some people have been watching you to see if you would react. To see if they could pull you back into old patterns. To see if they still had access to the version of you that God has already started to dismantle. And God saw it long before you did. He saw the intentions behind the smiles. He saw the tests hidden in concern. He saw the subtle attempts to provoke, drain, or distract you. And He stepped in. That is why He pulled you away. That is why He told you to be quiet. Because if you speak now, if you explain now, if you defend now, you give access to people who are no longer authorized for where you are going. Silence right now is not about fear. It is about clearance. Not everyone who had access to your last season has permission to enter the next one. And that truth is uncomfortable because you care deeply. You don't like disappointing people. You don't like pulling away without explanation. You don't like being misunderstood. But wisdom sometimes requires distance without closure. Growth sometimes requires boundaries without justification. Obedience sometimes requires silence, even when everything in you wants to speak. You have noticed that things that once felt normal now feel heavy. Conversations you used to tolerate now drain you. Environments you used to manage now feel suffocating. Drama you once engaged in now repels you instantly. And you wondered if you were becoming too sensitive or too rigid. But this is not sensitivity. This is elevation. Your spirit has been tuned to a different frequency. And when frequency changes, tolerance changes. What once felt acceptable now feels misaligned because it no longer matches who you are becoming. God is adjusting your internal compass, and it is rejecting what no longer belongs. Right now, you are learning how to move without explaining, how to trust without proof, how to obey without applause. You are learning restraint, discernment, stillness. These are not passive traits. They are signs of maturity. They are marks of someone being prepared for greater responsibility. And yes, this space feels uncomfortable. You are between versions of yourself. The old identity is shedding, but the new one hasn't fully formed yet. You don't fully recognize yourself anymore, but you also know you cannot go back. This in-between space feels uncertain, vulnerable, even lonely at times. But it is sacred. Nothing is wasted here. Nothing is random. Every moment of silence, every moment of withdrawal, every moment of stillness is serving a purpose. God is working beneath the surface, strengthening roots you cannot see, recalibrating your spirit, preparing you for what is next. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. So stay here. Stay still, stay receptive. Don't rush the process and don't break the silence prematurely. What God is doing in you right now is too important to be rushed and too valuable to be exposed too soon. This is not the end of your voice. This is the preparation of it. And when the time comes to speak again, you will understand why God first taught you how to be silent. Something deep has been shifting inside you, and it has been impossible to ignore. You have felt it in the way your reactions have changed, in the way your tolerance for certain situations has quietly disappeared. Things that once felt normal now feel heavy. Conversations that used to flow now drain you. Environments you once navigated with ease now feel suffocating. And you have questioned yourself because of it. You have wondered if you are becoming cold, distant, or overly sensitive. But this is not emotional shutdown. This is spiritual refinement. Your frequency has changed, and when frequency changes, compatibility changes. What once fit no longer does. What once felt acceptable now feels misaligned. God has adjusted your spiritual awareness, and now your spirit refuses to settle for what it has outgrown. This is not rejection of people. It is alignment with purpose. You are no longer meant to live at the level where chaos feels normal and dysfunction feels familiar. Right now, God is teaching you a new way of moving through life. A way that does not depend on explanation or approval. A way that does not require you to defend your growth or justify your boundaries. You are learning the language of discernment, the language of restraint, the language of silence that speaks louder than words ever could. This language cannot be learned in noise. It cannot be learned while you are constantly reacting, explaining, or proving yourself. It is learned in stillness, in observation, in patience. You are in the space between who you were and who you are becoming, the transition zone. The place where old layers are being stripped away and new ones are being formed. And this space is uncomfortable because nothing feels solid yet. You are not who you used to be, but you are not fully revealed either. It can feel like you are standing on unstable ground, unsure of where you fit, unsure of what comes next. But this space is not empty. It is intentional. Transformation always feels confusing before it feels clear. The enemy understands this moment very well. He recognizes transition because transition threatens him. He cannot stop what God has already ordained for you, but he can attempt to distract you, delay you, or pull you back into old patterns. That is why the temptation to react has been so strong. That is why certain situations feel designed to provoke you emotionally. That is why old wounds have been lightly pressed, not enough to be obvious, but enough to get your attention. The goal is simple: to pull you out of alignment, to get you talking when God told you to be quiet, to get you defending yourself instead of trusting God to defend you, to get you reacting emotionally instead of responding strategically. And every time you feel that urge rise up inside you, it is not weakness. It is awareness. You are noticing the test. Your silence right now is not passivity. It is obedience. And obedience is powerful. Every time you choose not to engage, you are choosing alignment over ego. Every time you choose not to explain, you are choosing trust over control. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you are strengthening spiritual authority you cannot see yet. Silence in this season is not about avoiding conflict. It is about protecting timing. There is also a reason your body has felt different lately. You have been more tired than usual. Not the kind of tired that sleep completely fixes, but the kind that lingers. The kind that makes you want to rest even when you feel like you haven't done much. And you may have wondered if something is wrong with you. If you are losing motivation, or if you are just worn down. But your body is responding to spiritual weight. When God is reshaping someone, when he is expanding capacity and deepening discernment, the physical body often feels it as heaviness or fatigue. Your spirit has been working overtime, and your body is adjusting to carry what is being built. That is why rest is not optional right now. Pushing through this season the way you used to push through everything else will only slow the process. Stillness is part of the assignment. Your emotions have also been unpredictable. Waves of peace followed by sudden sadness. Moments of clarity followed by confusion. Tears that come without warning. You try to make sense of them, to connect them to something specific, but they don't always have a clear cause. These emotional shifts are not instability. They are release. You are grieving versions of yourself that no longer exist. You are letting go of identities, expectations, and attachments that were never meant to come with you into the next season. And letting go always hurts, even when what you are releasing was limiting you. Something has to die for something new to live. And death, even spiritual death, is never comfortable. Your dreams have been reflecting this process. They feel intense, symbolic, sometimes unsettling. You search for things you cannot find. You try to speak but cannot. Familiar places feel unfamiliar. People you know act like strangers. These dreams are not random. They are your subconscious processing spiritual change. The searching represents transition. The silence represents restraint. The shifting environments represent perception changing. Your mind is catching up to what your spirit already knows. You have also been noticing signs around you. Repeated numbers, perfectly timed songs, words that seem to find you exactly when you need them. Scriptures that feel alive, messages that seem directed specifically at you. And part of you has wondered if you are reading too much into it. But these moments are not coincidence. They are confirmation. God is speaking to you in the language of alignment. He is reminding you that you are not alone in this process. He is leaving markers along the path, so you do not doubt the direction when it feels unclear. Every sign is reassurance. Every moment of synchronicity is a reminder that what feels confusing to you is not confusing to Him. You are not off track. You are not late. You are not imagining this shift. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. This season is teaching you how to trust without clarity, how to wait without anxiety, how to remain obedient without immediate reward. These lessons are not glamorous, but they are foundational. They are building something in you that cannot be shaken later. And even though it feels quiet, even though it feels slow, even though it feels like nothing is happening, so much is happening beneath the surface. Roots are deepening, capacity is expanding, discernment is sharpening, boundaries are being fortified. What feels like delay is actually development. So do not rush this stage. Do not break your silence prematurely. Do not return to old patterns just because they feel familiar. Familiar does not mean aligned. Comfortable does not mean cold. Stay still, stay aware, stay obedient. This process is doing exactly what it was designed to do, even if you cannot fully see it yet. This season you are in is not permanent. It was never meant to be. Silence was assigned to you for a reason, but it was never meant to become your identity. It is preparation, not destination. And when this season reaches its appointed end, the shift will not be slow or confusing. It will be clear. It will be decisive. You will feel it before you can explain it. Something inside you will settle, and you will know that God has given you permission to move again. When that moment comes, the fog that has surrounded you will lift quickly. What once felt uncertain will suddenly make sense. Direction will replace confusion. Momentum will replace stillness. Doors you stopped knocking on will open without effort. Opportunities you stopped chasing will begin to chase you. Conversations you never planned will align perfectly. Connections will reappear, but this time they will feel different. Everything will move with a flow that could only come from divine timing meeting obedience. And the most important change will not be around you. It will be within you. When God releases your voice again, it will not sound the way it used to. Your words will carry weight they never carried before. Your presence will shift rooms without effort. You will no longer feel the need to prove yourself, explain yourself, or defend yourself. Confidence will rise quietly, not from ego, but from alignment. Authority will come naturally, not because you demand attention, but because your spirit has been anchored in stillness. You went into this season needing reassurance. You will come out of it secure. You went into it reactive. You will come out responsive. You went into it searching for validation. You will come out anchored in identity. There is a difference between being loud and being powerful. Loud seeks attention. Powerful commands it without asking. And what God is building in you is power rooted in peace. People will notice immediately. Some will celebrate the change. They will sense the shift and feel drawn to it. They will respect your boundaries without needing explanation. They will honor your growth instead of questioning it. These are the people God has assigned to your next season. They will not compete with your transformation. They will support it. But others will not respond the same way. Some will feel uncomfortable around the new you. They will reference who you used to be as a way of trying to pull you back. They will say you have changed, as if change is something to apologize for. They will test your boundaries to see if they are real. They will question your motives because your peace exposes their unrest. And if you are not careful, you could mistake their discomfort for something you need to fix. You do not. Growth does not require permission. Change does not require explanation. Evolution is not betrayal. You are allowed to outgrow people, patterns, and places that no longer align with who God has called you to become. You are not responsible for keeping others comfortable at the expense of your obedience. You are not obligated to stay small so others can feel secure. This is one of the greatest lessons of this season. Silence taught you discernment, but release will teach you boundaries. You will learn when to speak and when to remain quiet, when to engage and when to walk away, when to open your heart and when to guard it, not from fear, but from wisdom. Your life will begin to speak for itself. Your peace will answer questions you no longer feel the need to respond to. Your consistency will silence doubt. Your growth will become undeniable. You will realize that explanation was never your assignment. Alignment was. There will be moments when people ask what happened to you. They will want to know how you changed, what shifted, what caused this transformation. And you may share if you feel led, but you will no longer feel pressured to. The ones who are meant to understand will discern it without you having to explain. The ones who belong in your next season will recognize the work of God on your life without needing details. And those who resist it, question it, or criticize it are simply revealing that they are not meant to go where you are going. That does not make them bad. It makes them assigned to a different path. As this season ends, remember what silence taught you. It taught you how to trust God without immediate results. It taught you how to obey without applause. It taught you how to remain still while everything in you wanted to move. These lessons will protect you in the next level, where exposure increases and responsibility deepens. Because with promotion comes visibility, and with visibility comes pressure. The stillness you learned now will keep you grounded later. The discernment you develop now will keep you safe later. The boundaries you practiced now will keep you aligned later. Nothing about this season was wasted. What felt like isolation was incubation. What felt like delay was development. What felt like silence was strategy. God was not withholding from you. He was preparing you to carry more without losing yourself. So as you step forward, do not rush. Move with intention. Stay close to God. Stay honest with yourself. Stay rooted in what you learned in the quiet. You do not need to announce your transformation. You do not need to defend your peace. You do not need to explain your boundaries. Let your life speak. Let your obedience open doors your effort never could. Let your alignment place you in rooms you were never invited into before. Let your peace become your testimony. Let your growth become your proof. And when moments of doubt return, because they will, remember this season. Remember how God met you in the quiet. Remember how He protected you when you did not understand why. Remember how He guided you even when the path was unclear. This is not the end of the story. This is the release point. And when God moves you forward, nothing will be able to stop what He has already completed in you.